What happens when traditions collide with progress? What happens when silence gives way to hard questions? This is where change begins. This is where catalysts are born. Hello guys, my name is Ifeanyi Nwanonaku and welcome to the very first episode of the Catalyst Podcast. This podcast is not here to make you comfortable. This podcast is here to provoke thought, to stir something inside you, and to remind us all that change never happens by accident. Change happens because someone somewhere decides to be a catalyst. And when I hear the word catalyst, I don't just think of chemistry or science. I think of a spark, a force that enters a space and transforms everything around it, yet remains unchanged. Being a catalyst means refusing to accept things the way they've always been. It means asking the hard questions, even when people would rather stay quiet. It means disrupting silence, challenging assumptions, and sparking conversations. And to be honest, that's why I created this podcast. Because I've seen it too often in our families, our communities, even in our culture. We avoid the uncomfortable questions. We bury conflicts under the rug. We choose traditions over truth and silence over dialogue. Let me paint you a picture. We are living in a state of tension. On one side, there is tradition, the way things have always been done, beliefs and practices that shaped our parents and grandparents. On the other side, there is modernity, the fast-paced, digital, globalized world that we live in today. And in the middle, people like us, you and me, torn between the two sides. I've felt it, and maybe you felt it too. In the family dispute about inheritance and land ownership, in the struggle between cultural expectations and personal freedom, in the fading of indigenous languages as English or French take over, in the way diaspora children wrestle with identity, never fully belonging here, but not fully belonging back home either. We see it everywhere, and the truth is, these tensions are not going away, not when we remain silent. So here is the big question for you. Are we willing to sit in that discomfort and wrestle with it? Or do we continue pretending, avoiding, and staying silent? Let me tell you something about the catalyst. This podcast exists to spark those uncomfortable but necessary conversations. To look at traditions and ask, does this still serve us? To look at modernity and ask, what are we losing along the way? To challenge ourselves, our families, and our communities to evolve without losing our souls. And this isn't just for Africans or people living in diaspora. This is for anyone who has ever felt stuck or caught between where they come from and where they are going. Anyone who knows that deep inside, staying silent is no longer enough. So, what can you expect from this podcast? You will hear stories like the one I will share in our coming episode about a Nigerian family fighting over inheritance and what it reveals about tradition and progress. You will hear conversations, interviews with thinkers, social critics, culture shapers, and everyday people who are catalysts in their own rights. You will hear reflections, my thoughts on identity, language, family, and the future of who we are. This isn't about preaching. This is about exploring. It's about creating a space where meaningful conversations can happen. So here is my reflection for you as we wrap this first episode. The question is not whether change will come. Change is inevitable. The question is, will you be a passive bystander or an active catalyst? That's the challenge I want to leave with you today. And if this message resonates with you, share this podcast with someone who needs to hear it. Follow, subscribe, and most importantly, join the dialogue. Reflect with me. Let's challenge assumptions and evolve. And get ready for episode 2, where we dive into real stories that will expose just how complicated and important these conversations are. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. But remember, be a catalyst.